Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. Today we're answering questions about OCD recovery. These are the questions that you left below my videos. First question is, I'm feeling very anxious because I did a ritual for religious OCD and now I'm thinking I have to do things according to the ritual. So, okay, the more you do things according to the ritual, the worse your OCD will get because you're powering it up with fear. The more you power it up, the worse this gets. So that part of the mind that's sending you the thoughts has no idea what your OCD is, what the thought is, it doesn't understand thoughts. It understands signals. Signal of fear or signal of power. You're showing your mind that you are in fear. It's going to send you more of that same thought. So if you're doing a ritual, you're doing a ritual out of fear that really powers up these thoughts. You have to refuse, step over the fear, even though it's there, and continue to not give in to what OCD is trying to make you do, because the more you do it, the worse it gets. And with physical rituals, it's such a slippery slope that you start to do one, then it's like, no, you have to do this one too, and this one too, and this one too, and it gets out of control really quickly. So you have to be very vigilant and really refuse. Doesn't matter what it tells you, doesn't matter how real it feels. It doesn't matter. You have to make a choice and push through with that choice. Next question is, I have an OCD trigger and I tried to do ERP, but anxiety is not going down. What to do? Anxiety won't go down as soon as you do ERP. So you have to kind of examine the situation, not from trying to analyze and figure it out, but of what you're doing. Are you coming from a position of power or from a position of fear? If you're coming from a position of fear in any way, shape, or form, that's what's creating more anxiety. If you are sure that you're doing everything correct, the fear will come on autopilot as well, right? But it's that you are not reacting with fear. You are not buying into it. If you think that, nobody's perfect, right? But if to 90%, 80% extent, you're not buying into it, paying attention to it, powering it up, then it might be just anxiety because it was so powered up in the past. And in that case, you don't do nothing. You just continue to do what you're doing. If you feel like you are powering it up with fear, see where you're making the mistake, change it, and keep going forward. First question about surroundings and the stress bringing on OCD. I found I developed OCD as a child when living in a home with a violent parent and being under extreme stress. Help me feel like I had some control over my life, which makes sense. So I would say that yes, OCD. See, the one thing, and as you know, I talk to a lot of people. I have clients all day long, including weekends, and I find that everybody I talk to, they come from all walks of life, different situations, different cultures, different countries. But the one thing that everybody has in common is that they're all very nice, very sensitive, very, very good, very, very sensitive people. And when you take a child that's very sensitive and put them in a situation with a lot of stress, I think that can be too much for the mind, and then it creates OCD. So yeah, I would say that that's stress. I find that even for people who already have OCD, when they're dealing with stress, it makes it so much worse. So yeah, it's definitely true. Next question is, hi Ali, I was wondering if you could give me any advice. I just completed a course in ERP therapy and have improved immensely. I'm so much better. However, stopping therapy has left me feeling overwhelmed and scared of getting worse. In the past few days, my OCD seems to be getting worse, but I'm managing to deal with it well and avoid the compulsion to do mental checks. Is it normal to feel overwhelmed just after stopping therapy? And are there any ways to dealing with this? I would say, I think it's just the change that you just finished. So it's you're kind of in a new situation. Try not to overthink the situation. You were fine. You got out of it fine. And now you're going to be fine continuing to work on your own, So don't react with fear to this process of change. So you're not reacting with fear to the OCD thoughts as well as to this change, because You see, that part of the mind has no idea what the thoughts are, and it doesn't understand OCD either. So it kind of lumps all stress together, whether it's OCD stress or real life stress, all fear together, right? So it's if you're reacting with fear to this situation, even though the situation is just life, right? Like you finished and now you're done. It will still give you a lot of anxiety to do with this, and it will kind of slow down your progress. So just really make sure that you're not reacting. It's like, okay, I'll be fine. And if I'm not fine and I make a mistake and I take a step back, it's just one step back, I'll pick myself up. I have the tools and I'll keep going forward. Next question is, I love your videos. They help me so much. Thank you. But now I'm scared that watching the videos could be a form of reassurance and compulsion on its own. I've been watching them a lot, especially when I feel like I can't handle it or I feel really scared. So with that, if you are doing it from a position of fear, not that you're scared and you just want to kind of listen to somebody talking about OCD, but in a way to try to figure things out, that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to be doing it to try to figure something out, to try to analyze, to drive the situation forward, right? Like paying attention to the thought. But if you want to do it from a position of power, meaning I don't feel good right now, I'm going to watch stuff about OCD so I can get on the right track and understand what I need to do to recover, reiterate what I need to do to recover. So from a position of power, it's okay. From a position of fear, trying to figure out if the thought is true or not, that's not okay. In the past few days, my OCD seems to be getting worse, but I'm managing to deal with it well and avoid the compulsions. Oh, okay, wait, sorry. Also, like, I really don't want to seek reassurance because I know how bad it is, but do the specific sensations that the thoughts make you feel matter? No, it doesn't matter. You can get images, sensations, thoughts, dreams. It's all part of OCD. You just have to refuse to view it as anything different. It's OCD, not paying attention and moving forward. That's the last question I have for this video. Please leave your questions below this video. I'll see you in the next show.